The rain poured down like sheets of glass that evening, soaking everything in sight. The streetlights flickered against the wet pavement and cars hissed by, their headlights carving silver trails through the mist. A young woman named Elena pressed her thin coat tighter around her shivering body as she hurried home from her part-time shift at a cafe. Her shoes were worn, the soles almost gone, and her umbrella had broken weeks ago. But as she turned the corner near the old marketplace, she noticed an elderly man struggling to lift two heavy grocery bags into the back of a rusty car. His frail hands trembled, his knees seemed to give way under the weight, and yet people passed him by without a second glance. Elena stopped. For a moment, she hesitated. She was already late, already exhausted, already carrying her own burdens. But something in that old man's eyes, a quiet desperation, pulled her toward him. Before we go further, if you believe in kindness, second chances, and the power of small good deeds, please take a moment to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Kindness Tale. Every gesture of support helps us share more stories that restore faith in humanity. Elena ran toward the old man, her breath visible in the cold night air. "Let me help you," she said softly, picking up one of the bags that looked far heavier than she had expected. The man tried to protest, insisting he was fine, but his weak smile gave away his gratitude. Together they lifted the bags into the back seat. The man thanked her quietly, his voice trembling not only with age but with something else, something hidden. "You have a kind heart, my dear," he said, his eyes glistening as if fighting back tears. Elena smiled faintly, brushed her wet hair aside, and told him to get home safe. Then she turned and disappeared into the dark street, unaware that her small act of kindness had just set something extraordinary into motion. The next morning began like any other. Elena woke up in her tiny apartment, where the wallpaper peeled off and the ceiling leaked whenever it rained. She made herself a cup of weak tea and checked her phone for job listings. She had been trying to find something stable, anything that could help her pay her mother's hospital bills. Her mother had fallen ill months ago, and with no insurance, Elena was drowning in debt. She worked two part-time jobs, sometimes skipping meals so her mother could have proper medication. Every day was a quiet battle between exhaustion and hope. But that morning, just as she was about to leave for work, a deep rumble shook the silence outside her building. She looked out the window and froze. A black luxury SUV had stopped in front of her building. Its tinted windows reflected the gray sky, and the moment the doors opened, four men in black suits stepped out. They looked like bodyguards, tall, serious, and silent. Her heart raced. Had she done something wrong? Was this about her rent? Her mind ran wild as a knock echoed through her thin wooden door. "Miss Elena," one of the men called firmly. She hesitated, then opened the door just a crack. The man at the front spoke politely but with authority. "Our employer wishes to speak with you. Please come with us." Fear gripped her. She had no idea who these people were. I think you have the wrong person," she stammered, but the man handed her a small envelope. Inside was a neatly folded note written in elegant handwriting. "You helped me yesterday. I wish to thank you properly. Please come." And below that, a signature, Mr. A. Rahman. The name meant nothing to her, but something about the formality, the precision, and the way the guards waited patiently, not forcefully, made her realize this wasn't a threat. Trembling, she agreed to go with them. The SUV glided through the city, past neighborhoods she had only ever seen in pictures. After about 30 minutes, they turned into a private driveway leading to a sprawling white mansion surrounded by manicured gardens. Elena's breath caught in her throat. It looked like a scene from another world, a world where people never had to worry about bills, hunger, or fear. When she stepped out, a butler guided her through the marble hall where chandeliers hung like frozen rain. At the end of the corridor sat the same old man she had helped, now dressed in a fine suit, looking healthier and more composed. He smiled when he saw her, and his eyes softened with warmth. "Elena," he said gently, "I was hoping you would come." She stood there, bewildered. You're the man from the market," she whispered. He nodded. "Yes, my dear. And you didn't know who I was, but you stopped to help me anyway. That means something in a world where most people don't even look twice." He then explained that his name was Abdul Rahman,